Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Ash, and we're going to do a little league predictor of game week 5 of how we think it's going to set up. Obviously, previously I said about Wissa potentially looking like he might be coming back by the end of September, start of October. It's been said today that he's going to be basically aiming for the 18th, the Brighton game, so the middle of October. Well, that sucks, but I guess the only good thing is that we really could have done with him having against Union for the Champions League, because I think that's a game we've got to look at for getting a win. It's very hard to get wins in Champions League, as we saw yesterday against Barcelona. So we have to look at where we can. Union is potentially one of them. So we'll see how it goes, but obviously we won't have Vista for that. So it is what it is. We're going to have a look at Nick. See what we said about what Eddie Howe said about Nick Voltemada after the game. We're going to have a look at Nick. It's hard enough for him to come into the new league. About the physical effects he had on in Wolves, because obviously he had cramp. That's why he went off at 60 minutes. There's no guarantee, even by managing, that he's going to stay fit and play all the games, but we're going to try and give him the best chance to stay and also acclimatise to the league he's in, which is obviously the reason why we wanted Vissa to be the starting centre forward, because obviously he already knows the league inside and out, and then have Voltemada come off the bench later on in the game to start getting game time, but unfortunately we don't really have that opportunity. So that's why we'll have to do this makeshift Anthony Gordon up front, which is not ideal because he's not a centre forward. Either way, yeah, we need, to be fair, when he came on to do the Barca goal, he obviously was a big part of setting up the Anthony Gordon goal. Yeah, I'm happy. He just needs more game time. He'll get there. Yeah, he also mentions about Pedri here. Yeah, Pedri sensational. Genuinely was. This is Craig Hope for the Athletic. I completely agree here. Pedri looked absolutely amazing. And also, so when I said about Fabian Schär looked out of it to do with that Rashford first goal, well, I said about the concussion thing. Look what's came out. Fabian Schär confirms he will miss a few games coming off last night because of the concussion. So there you go, exactly what we thought. He looked very much out of it, especially to do with that goal. He had no idea where he was. It's a very difficult thing, like I said, to diagnose. Obviously, it's a very important thing. That's why we have concussion subs. But it's also why it's very, very important for doctors to try and decide very fast. And it's hard to make the wrong decision, because especially if, say, Fabian Schär saying, I'm okay, I can play on. He may think that in the moment, but then obviously it may not, and may end up coming that he isn't, which happened, unfortunately. Either way, let's do the predictor. How do I think this is going to go? So, let's go for Mob. This is a website that I like to use. Because it's quite good for predicting stuff. Because so let's go through matches. We'll go here one by one. So Everton, Liverpool, it has sort of like the predicted lineup, and then here it has the injured and suspended players. So it's good to know who's out and stuff. So we'll go one by one. So we'll do the first game, obviously the Liverpool Everton game. I don't think this is how it's going to start. I think Isak's probably going to start up front. Ekatike will come on later. I feel like this is the game that it's at Anfield. I think Liverpool's going to want to try and show what they've got, and I think this could be a not ideal day for Everton, if I'm being honest. I think there's going to be goals in this game. I generally think this game is going to be. Do I think Everton's going to score? The way Grealish has been setting up goals, potentially. However, I'm going to say no. Brighton-Tottenham. Brighton has looked absolutely horrific this season, if I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to be... Do you know what? I do think Tottenham's going to win this. However, they won't feel the effects from Champions League. So I'm going to say 1-1. Burnley-Forest. I think... The thing is, Burnley's quite good defensively. I don't think they're going to score. Will Forest score? I also don't think they will. I think it's got 0-0 written all over that. It's going to be a stinky, stinky game. Not something I'm going to watch. At Turf Moor? No, not at all. Ew. West Ham Palace, right. This could be a very high-scoring game because they're both fairly open. I'm really hoping West Ham stops playing this stupid false nine thing when they've got the likes of Fulkrug and obviously Callum Wilson. It makes zero sense to me why they're playing like that when they actually have out-and-out centre-forwards. If I was a West Ham fan, I'd be screaming at why we're not playing centre-forwards in their positions. It's at the London Stadium, so it's a bit of a derby, this, as you would say. But I think this is going to be. Oh, do I think they're even going to score 2? I don't know. Do you know what? Let's do 2-2. Let's do a little Desmond. Why not? Wolves Leeds. God, this is a game no one's going to want to watch. Absolutely. bottom of the barrel stuff here. Also, Strand Larsen just extended his contract, by 5 years at Wolves. So he obviously has no idea, no intention of getting better because wow, obviously we tried to get him twice in the transfer window and he didn't come to us. So to extend it by Wolves, I have no idea why. I think Wolves is one of the favourites to go down. So I don't think there's going to be any scoring from Wolves. Leeds, I also don't think. I think it's going to be a 0-0. But it could be one of those scrappy games that there could be some goals in it, but I just don't see it. Man United Chelsea. So I actually think this is going to be better than what people are thinking. I think Man United is actually going to do more than what people are expecting. I think there's going to be a 3-2 Man United. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. Fulham Brentford. Do I? Yeah, why not? I do think Fulham will score. But I also think Brentford will score. No, I'm going to do 1-0 because I do think Fulham's going to win. Bournemouth, Newcastle. I think this is going to be a Bournemouth, I think. Obviously, we'll be feeling the effects from Champions League. Semenya's in good form. I think they could get 1 goal, and I think we're going to get 3. I think we need to try and do something here. Sunderland, Villa. This is going to be a stinky game. Come on, Villa's got to start scoring. I'm gonna say 2. They're just gonna smash 2 again at Sunderland. It's the stadium of shite. And then the big game of the week on Sunday. This is an absolute mad game, and I have no idea what's gonna happen. I'm gonna say out of left field, even though Arsenal has the best defence in Europe, like I said. Granted, if you look at the XG. Actually, in the Premier League, we're number 1 at goals against, which is crazy to say we were down 10 men against Liverpool. But it is what it is. That's why XG as a stat is a pile of shit. And I will always say that. Right, Man City, Arsenal. Well, Arsenal, Man City, I should say, for the home side. I can see Arsenal scoring, but I can also see Man City scoring. I think this is going to be a very... Ooh. You know what? Let's do it. 1-2. 2-1 Man City. Right, let's see what it says the table looks like after that. Spurs second. Jesus Christ, that's not what you want to see. We'll be in 7th. Bournemouth 5th. Look at the bottom. Wolves, absolutely. Jesus. Look at the bottom of this table, man. Villa, absolute howler. Bear in mind, I've put them to win. Imagine they don't win. The state they're going to be in. Either way, guys, it's going to be an interesting game, like I said. This game is going to be massive. You can see the injury list of what's got. We've got Odegaard doubtful. That was with his shoulder injury. He's pulled off a couple recently. I don't know how he's getting on with that. Saka's obviously coming back at the start of next month. Jesus, he had the ACL that he had done. Kai Havertz middle of next month as well. So a few of them are going to be out for the international breaks and stuff, which is probably good because God. When you get players and they go out on the international break and they come back injured, it is the most gut-wrenching thing that can happen. And obviously John Stones will be coming back at the end of this month. I wonder how he's going to do because he's not had game time for a fair while, so we'll see. And Cherokee in November. God, fair while. Actually, let's see what it says about Newcastle. Because obviously, I wonder if it's got the Fabian Schär stuff updated. Whoops, I just clicked on. Yeah, it's good sign getting blind. Gordon's still suspended. I think this is his last game, and then I think he can play again afterwards. That means he's suspended for this game. Fabian Schär until early October. It says Jacob Ramsey mid-October, and then this it says late September, but it isn't. Like I said, Eddie Howe's came out and said 18th of October, which is the Brighton game, is when he's going to be looking to come back in for. So, as you can see, our fixture, we've got Bournemouth, Arsenal, Forest, Brighton, Fulham. So, and then obviously in between that, we've got the likes of Bradford at home for the EFL Cup, which we should absolutely smash them. And then Union here, this is going to be a game that we should be looking at winning. Granted, obviously it's away, but we have to try and win this if we're going to see us getting through the Champions League table. As you can see, obviously it's. I'm a big fan of this format because it's just you get so many good games, man. Like you get so many good games. Like look at this round 2 competition. You got the likes of Atletico Frankfurt. That'll actually be a good game to watch. Chelsea Benfica. That'll be a good game to watch. Obviously, the Union Newcastle would be a good game to watch for me, but probably not. Arsenal Olympiacos, that is always a very, very physical game, actually, whenever it used to be, so that'll actually probably be a good game to watch. Barcelona PSG, wow. Okay, now that's insane. Wow, we're going flipping Champions League final match already. That's what that is, Jesus. Monaco Man City, Villarreal Juventus, that'll not be bad. And Bilbao versus Dortmund. There are some decent games. Paphos versus Bayern. Yeah, there's some alright games. It's yeah, it's okay, but obviously it's not as good as the first one. I'm intrigued what the. Can you see match week 2? Match week 3, sorry. I can't be asked look at that. We'll look at it in close time. But either way, guys, this is sort of the predictions that I've got for this week. Obviously, you've got to think we only played Thursday. Same with Man City. We both could be a little bit leggy. Other teams got more days to rest. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we do win and get some more points back on the table. Now we've got Voltemada in the squad. Like I said, Murphy and Elanga have both looked amazing. So let's just see how it goes, guys, and enjoy your weekend, and let's see if we can finally get some wins back together. And peace.